Okay, week 36 store tracker, primarily Australian stores. Obviously we do guests and requests, leave them down below. And just like last time, we're looking for strong support on the like button to keep this series going. So if you want to see this survive, we need to get over 75 likes. So week 36, there were 649 sales taken from 26 of the top performing stores. The average sits at 22 when we take out the highest, which is top of the shop. Pretty much you could add 2 to the average, including them in, which means all of the top 10 stores all performed above average this week, which is good news all round, isn't it? If you are new to this, the little yellow column on the far right is those stores from which I am banned from buying. I've obviously been banned from Bricks Warehouse for over a year. Ashburton and Goldie Bricks were very recent banners. Is that the right word? Anyway, but there we have it. So we don't really focus too much on those 3 stores as we roll through this, but as you will see, it's a shocker of a drop for Bricks Warehouse. Terrible, eh? Although their average price has risen. A better week for Ashburton Bricks, but staying steady at -12 on the average price difference. So they are -12% on the 6 months average. So if you are looking to buy parts, go there. Make sure you buy them all and get banned. If you clear a lot out, they don't like it. Their lot count's pretty small compared to the stores around them, that's for sure. Half the size in terms of lots, or thereabouts, from number 1. This week was also the first week we had data from a number of new stores. We tracked about 4 new stores, 2 have closed, so that's a shame, but some new entries. It was interesting the number of stores that were actually closed this week as I went through checking things, whether just taking a break or preparing for fairs and markets or shows and things. But Bricktastics have entered at number 3 with 60 sales for the week. They're operating at 99% used parts and are 19% above the 6 months average. Their lot count is 21,911, that should be. And if you don't know, they do an awful lot of kind of high value and minifigure parts in a lot of different channels, including YouTube adverts and things like that that you may have seen. In and new to us at number 4 is Pretty Bricks. Now this one's out of Tasmania. They have 23,719 lots. I think they are second in the Australian lot count. They run at 74.8% new parts and are 41% above the 6 months average. So here we go into the players. Noah dropped 1 this week with 38 sales, down on 40 the week before. I think he's going to be running a sale as well, but he's had kind of a market and he's had people in the store buying stuff, so I get a feeling that it's probably been a bit on and off in terms of access to his parts via the platforms. But as we know, 78.3% used, slightly up on the 6 months average. 62 was 60% last week, and he is sitting at 30,292 lots at time of recording, which puts him at 3rd in the lot count, which is wrong because Pretty Bricks is higher up than that. We'll have a look in a minute, bear with me. Number 7, down 4, is Sydney Brick Emporium. 44 sales last week, down to 30 this week. Their average on the 6 months average is crept at 1, the same as Noah's store, and Tanya is operating with 28,687 lots. I myself climbed back into the top 10, in, out, like the hokey corky, isn't it? 25 sales this week on 22 last week, so it was a better week on Bricklink than it was the week before, but conversely it was not as well kind of not as well, not as good on Brickowl. 97.2% used, operating at 28% above the average 6 months thing, and the lot count, it just keeps falling, 13,889. Brickwomble, another one that's had a bit of a tumble there, 25 this week, down from 39. If you've not seen this before, really a shift of about half a dozen is very normal, and it will go up and down like that, back and forth. Brickwomble 79.7% used and up at 16% plus on the 6 months average. Their lot count is 31,988. They are top of the shop in terms of that. And climbing back into the top 10 as well, there's Shannon at Every Little Brick, slightly down on last week, but slightly up on last week. That should be green. It's gone well, isn't it? 100% new, minus 16% on the 6 months average, and a lot count of 9863. Okay, so let's just have a look at this Pretty Bricks situation. Their lot count should have been 31,130. So let's get that right. 31,130. There we go. So this graph this screen in BL Metrics is pretty much showing you the ranking by daily orders. So Pretty Bricks at 9, Bricktastics at 9, Fantechnic back up to 8, although because their store was suspended, they didn't quite get to the heights that they usually do. So expect to see them return next week. And I should point out that previously, and it was pointed out to me by Fantechnic, previously kind of the data had shown that they'd sold like to the US once or something like that. They were very quick to point out that that is not the case. What we think that data anomaly is someone whose account is registered to the US whilst they are based in Australia. Anyway, Brickshed 7, Tanya 6, Papa Bricks 5, myself 4, and there's a big crowd of people at 4. We've got Best Buy, the Brickwomble, who's obviously got the large lot count, but not quite as many sales per day. Haley over at HMG, iBricks, K&M Bricks, who watches the vlogs, I believe, and Brick for Me, who I'm reliably told have the most pricey shipping you're ever likely to see. Anyway, that's where we are with that. As I said, Brick Metrics, Pretty Bricks even, pretty decent performance in the last month. Just 2.9% to New Zealand and 2.9% to the United States. A big upload there that took them from 388 up to 401. So that was a decent smash of upload, wasn't it? And it has been slightly kind of typically up and down since then. What are we looking at? 35% average difference. Is that what we've got in our chart, or is that incorrect? 41. What is that? Oh, maybe that's looking at the last month's. Anyway, there we go. 74.8% and 25.2. Quite a lot of minifigures. A lot. 7,731 minifigures, accounting for almost 2% of their stock. Interesting stuff. Anyway, this week's guest is going to be superBRICKS, but before we do that, we'll just have a look at the total sales and how we're tracking. As you can see, it's fairly consistent. This week was 649. There was a couple of stores added, which has given us a bit of a bump. But if you think back to, where are we? 649, 6567. Is that data actually correct? No, that needs to go in. There you go. That's 694, so 649 there. So that really was a standout week. We should see this ranking up a little bit more now, given that there's these 3 new stores added, although Ali's and Basil's Bricks are closed, as was Bricks for Leisure. And Brick or Block, as I said, a fair few closed. Anyway, the average has been kind of tracking downwards fairly consistently since week 31. Slowdown, no doubt. Next week will be week 37, so we'll see how that plays out. Anyway, let's go back to Steve over at superBRICKS. Those of you that probably are aware of superBRICKS and East Midlands Brick Hire and other projects that he has on the go, this is the store that bought Brick Arena's stock way back when. And as you can see, a massive upload whilst his store was suspended recently, similar to Fantechnic. Took a fair while to get back online, but as you can see, that time was used wisely. He emptied the store. That's all he did. Went from 0 back up to... That's an interesting one, isn't it? I wonder if that's just where the store suspension is. Anyway, also had a little bit of time off there, one would imagine, but there you go. That's how that's tracking. 1% above the average 6 months, 86.3% new, 13.7% used, and looking at 99.8% parts, 1,101 minifigures in stock, and daily orders 4, so kind of on a par with myself. Total orders very decent, lots really decent as well, and this inventory still climbing as stock gets added in from the Brick Arena purchase, and in the last month it's been 100% to the UK, and previously just a small portion heading out to Iceland. Nice. So there we have it. That is a quick look at a guest. If you want to nominate stores to have a nosy around, do so in the comments down below, and otherwise we shall return next week, subject to reaching the targets, with more of this. Equally, if you've got stores that you think really should be getting tracked on here, or if you want to look at an actual marketplace, like choose a country type thing, stores in Bahrain for instance, who knew, there's only one, there you go. Total items 25, and he's pretty expensive, but you know, if you're in Bahrain, get a store started. There's not much competition. So there we have it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.